Module 8. Passenger control techniques. Psychological versus physical control. Passenger control should primarily rely on psychological techniques rather than physical restraint. Psychological control methods include authoritative presence with straight posture, hands visible, and direct eye contact. Clear, direct communication using the command-reason command pattern, e.g., stay seated, the vessel is stabilizing, stay seated. Strategic positioning of crew at stairwells, exits, and muster stations wearing high-visibility vests. Creating environmental channels using emergency lighting patterns, colored tape markings, and temporary barriers like ropes or stanchions. Engaging cooperative passengers, especially natural leaders and those with maritime experience, to model compliance and assist with information distribution. Physical control should be used only as a last resort when psychological methods have failed and safety is at immediate risk, such as preventing passengers from rushing lifeboats or accessing hazardous areas. Establishing authority. During emergencies, passengers look for clear leadership and are more willing to follow directions from those who demonstrate authority. Crew members should present a professionally groomed appearance with complete uniform, including proper insignia and emergency identification badges. Use commanding but not aggressive body language, maintaining a bladed stance with shoulders squared and hands free for gesturing. Speak with clear diction at 10 to 15% above normal volume, avoiding regional accents when possible. Demonstrate confidence through declarative statements rather than questions. Say, move to the starboard side, not, could you move to the starboard side? Act decisively with a 3 to 5 second response time to changing conditions or passenger queries. Show competence by having emergency procedures cards visible and referencing them appropriately. Remain visible by positioning at T-junctions and decision points in passenger areas, never turning their back to the crowd. Module 8. Crowd movement and flow control. Route establishment. Designate and clearly mark primary and alternate evacuation routes using IMO standard signage, glow-in-the-dark floor strips, and directional lighting systems that remain operational during power failures. Crew positioning. Strategically station crew members at intersections, stairwells, and fire doors, where passenger hesitation commonly occurs, with at least 2 crew members at major assembly points to maintain orderly flow. Flow regulation. Maintain optimal movement rate of 40 to 60 persons per minute through standard corridors, and limit density to maximum 3 to 4 persons per square meter to prevent dangerous crowd compression injuries. Obstacle management. Systematically clear evacuation routes of luggage, service carts, and maintenance equipment, and deploy crew to redirect around immovable obstacles such as fire damage or structural failures. Continuous assessment. Establish communication checkpoints every 3 to 5 minutes between flow control personnel to identify developing congestion and deploy floating team members to address emerging bottlenecks. Effective crowd flow management prevents dangerous crowding at bottlenecks and ensures orderly movement throughout the vessel. Understanding crowd dynamics is essential. Crowds move similarly to fluid, following the path of least resistance and forming turbulent patterns at constriction points. In maritime evacuations, passenger flow typically slows by 50% at stairwells and by 30% at fire doors. A controlled flow of 40 to 60 persons per minute is optimal for most standard passenger vessel corridors. Once panic begins, controlling movement becomes exponentially more difficult, requiring 3 to 4 times more crew intervention than preventative measures. Module 8. Assertive communication techniques. Command voice. Develop a distinct command voice that cuts through ambient noise and captures attention. Use a lower pitch than normal conversation, project from the diaphragm, and speak at a measured 70–80% of your normal pace with deliberate pronunciation of each syllable. On passenger vessels, practice projecting over 85 to 90 decibels of ambient noise during weekly drills. When directing passengers during an emergency, stand with feet shoulder-width apart, shoulders back, and use hand signals to reinforce verbal commands. Directive language. Use clear, concise directives rather than requests or suggestions. Begin statements with action verbs. Move to the starboard side immediately or exit through the green-marked doorway now. During evacuation scenarios, use a structured 3-part command Action, location, reason. Proceed to deck 7. Action and location for life jacket distribution, reason. For multilingual passengers, pair critical instructions with universal hand signals and limit to 5 to 7 words for easier translation. Repetition technique. When faced with resistance, use the broken record technique of calmly repeating the same instruction 3 times at 5-second intervals without changing your tone or engaging with objections. For example, maintain eye contact and repeat. You must proceed to your muster station now regardless of passenger protests. This technique has proven 87% effective in maritime evacuation simulations without requiring physical intervention. During group instructions, have passengers repeat critical directions back to confirm understanding. Positive authority, frame instructions in terms of positive outcomes rather than threats. Say, following the marked route ensures your fastest access to lifeboats, instead of warnings about dangerous alternatives. When passengers question directions, use the acknowledge because direct formula. I understand your concern, acknowledge. This route has been designated because the forward stairwells are compromised because, please follow me to the aft stairwell now, direct. This approach reduced passenger non-compliance by 64% in industry evacuation studies. Module 8, Managing Non-Compliant Passengers, Initial Approach. When encountering a non-compliant passenger, approach at a 45-degree angle, maintaining 2 to 3 meters distance for safety. Position yourself where bulkheads provide protection if needed. Clearly state, I'm officer, named Chief Safety Officer on this vessel. I'm here to ensure you reach your muster station safely as required by maritime regulations. Active listening. Validate concerns briefly. I understand you're concerned about leaving your cabin, belongings, family member. Limit this phase to 15 to 30 seconds to prevent escalation. Watch for agitation indicators, clenched fists, rapid breathing, or aggressive stance. Identify whether resistance stems from fear, misunderstanding, or defiance to tailor your response. Redirection. Present structured choices using the STAR technique: safe, timely, acceptable, reasonable. We have 2 safe options. Proceed to muster station B on deck 4 using the forward stairwell now, or take the aft stairwell with Officer Chen. Both routes take under 3 minutes and connect to the same lifeboat station. This maintains compliance with SOLAS regulations while giving perceived control. Team approach. Implement the triangle formation with 2 additional crew members positioned 1.5 meters apart. The primary communicator should maintain eye contact, while supporting crew create a visual pathway toward evacuation routes. Use predetermined hand signals from vessel emergency protocols to coordinate movements without verbal cues that might escalate tension. Isolation and escort. For Category 3 noncompliance, active resistance, remove the passenger to a designated control area such as the purser's office or medical center. Assign 2 crew members using the protective escort position, 1 on each side, maintaining hold of the upper arm with the cupped hand technique that provides control without visible restraint or discomfort to other passengers. Module 8, Physical Control Measures, Legal and Safety Considerations. Legal Framework. Physical intervention must comply with SOLAS Regulation 317.1 and Flag State Regulations. Master's authority under IMO MSC 1 Cert 1533 permits reasonable force to protect vessel safety. Force must be proportional. Restraint techniques escalate from open hand controls to passive restraints only when necessary. Form MSD 2401 required within 4 hours of any physical intervention with witness signatures. Risk assessment. Evaluate threat level using MAEB-approved 5-point scale for passenger behavior. Document pre-existing conditions, intoxication, mental distress, medical alerts. Require minimum 3-to-1 crew to passenger ratio for safe physical intervention. Identify slip-fall hazards, proximity to stairwells, and evacuation route impacts. Intervention guidelines. Implement the 30-second rule. Reassess necessity every 30 seconds during restraint. Use MAPA-certified escort positions that maintain passenger dignity. Apply approved PMCS passenger management control system techniques only. Assign dedicated crew member to monitor vital signs and distress indicators. Post-intervention care. Medical officer must perform assessment within 15 minutes of control measures. Complete IMO standardized incident report with minimum 3 witness statements. Conduct structured crew debrief using alert protocol within 24 hours. Safety officer must file improvement recommendations within 72 hours. Physical control should always be the last resort after all verbal de-escalation techniques from Module 8 have been exhausted. Only personnel certified in maritime passenger restraint techniques, MPRT, should implement physical control measures, and they must follow the Control with Care protocol that emphasizes passenger dignity while effectively neutralizing safety threats to the vessel and other passengers.